Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome to Curtain Jerkin. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Grondy, reporting for the Main Event Marks YouTube channel and the Dragon Suplex Podcasting Network. It feels great to talk to you guys. It's been over a week since I talked to you guys, so therefore, I'm going to be ranking every single AEW match from worst to first, talking about the whatever is called Holiday Bash Night 1 Dynamite, Holiday Bash Night 2 Rampage, and then the New Year's Bash Night 1 of Dynamite. All three big shows are going to be ranked from worst to first. But before that, we're going to be going into some other shit. I'm really excited to talk to you guys. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about Dragon Lee signing with the WWE. Reporting to NXT soon per Dave Meltzer. I thought he was a shoo-in for AEW. I loved his matches with Hiromu. I mean, other than the one where Hiromu got hurt, obviously. Seems to be a bit of a wild card, pissing people off. We'll see how long he lasts in WWE, because not only does he have a knack for pissing people off, like CMLL told him not to wrestle at the Battle of Los Angeles one year, and then he ended up wrestling at the Battle of Los Angeles one year. He makes his way over to the new Ring of Honor. Doesn't last too long, but he was a big name in the old Ring of Honor. I think he wanted to go to New Japan, but I think New Japan, from what I understand, still has a relationship with CMLL, so he couldn't do that. So here he is. He landed in WWE NXT, and that's not a bad place to land for anybody. But like I said, he has a knack for pissing people off, and in a political system like WWE, I don't see him lasting very long. And I know WWE is an international brand, but he doesn't speak English at all. And, not everyone's like Asuka, where Asuka is still, obviously can speak English, but can play up her the fact that English is a second language to her advantage. Not everyone can do that. A lot of people, a lot of luchadors, don't really work out at WWE too long because of their, inability to speak English. I mean, shit. I only know one language too, so I'm not sitting here pointing the fingers at anybody. I'm just repeating, some stuff that I kind of learned and kind of added my own spin and my own opinion on it. And right now, as I'm recording this, it's December 29th. So therefore, Wrestle Kingdom is coming up. But more than Wrestle Kingdom coming up, we have the Big Noah show, which is going to obviously have Muta, the Great Muta versus Nakamura. But it's going to have a lot more than that. We're going to be diving into that. Let me just pull it up here as I kind of cover up my burps. I don't know if you guys could tell or not, but yeah, I was hiding my burps, going to Wrestle Universe, which is a great website if you want to watch DDT, Tokyo Joshi Pro, and Noah. The biggest company in the world involved with wrestling is Abema. They own all three of those companies and a little more. And guys, I'm not going to be reviewing these first few multi-man tag matches. They don't matter. People get mad at me for not reviewing the matches, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to take a bubble bath in the tears of people that want me to review the full shows in 2023, because I am not going to just sit here and watch matches that don't matter. I watch so much wrestling. But I will watch matches that do matter, like Timothy Thatcher and Jack Morris. This is going to be a good one. Timothy Thatcher is going to get the win there. I'm predicting the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. Amakase, hope I'm saying that right. I don't think I did. Versus Junta Miyakawa. I'm going with the title change here, so Junta Miyakawa getting the victory. GHC Tag Team Championship. Segura and Kojima. I didn't know they were tag champions. That's kind of cool. Versus Marufuji and Kenta. Holy shit. Oh, man. Marufuji and Kenta, for old time's sake, getting the tag championships. This will be the third defense by the 62-second champion. I didn't know that Kojima and Segura had the titles. Look at that. That's cool. Segura, got kind of thrown by the wayside in NXT. Kojima has kind of been pushed aside in New Japan, and here they are, champions in Noah. Pretty cool to see. The GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship match, Tag Championship match, Yohei and Casey, I don't know really how to say that, versus Ogawa and Ita. Ogawa, he's had his time to shine. Yohei and the fella getting the victory here. Double main event GHC championship match. This is crazy. So this is the GHC championship match is not the main event. Kaito Kiyomiya versus Keno. I'm going with Kiyomiya. I'm a new guy to Noah. Kiyomiya is, a newer guy to Noah. I like seeing the newer guy because I'm a newer guy. I can kind of relate to it. I want to see the newer guy retain. Even though I like Keno, he has great matches from what I've seen. And then the reason we're all tuning in, the Great Muta versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I know that, the Great Muta has very few matches left, but you're going to have to be stuck on fucking stupid if you think that the WWE is lending someone like Shinsuke Nakamura to any company anywhere in the world to lay down on his back. It doesn't matter if they're a legend. It don't matter if they're an up-and-comer. It don't matter if they're world fucking champion. Unless your name is Carl Anderson, you're not flying to Japan to take the L, and Shinsuke Nakamura is going to beat the Great Muta here for the world to see, as I'm calling it. And just like we kind of alluded to, Wrestle Kingdom is coming up. And I've kind of reviewed and previewed and predicted that match, that show, twice now, but you know what? We're going to do it again because that's how excited I am. January 4th, it's one big show now, and we already have, the opening match, the exhibition match, these two young lions that kick off the show, Iowa and Oleg. I don't know who's going to win. I'm going with Iowa. I don't even know if I'm saying that. Oiwa. Not familiar with these young lions, but I bet they kill it. The New Japan Rambo, who knows going to win? I'm going with Ishii because he's not in any of these other matches. And then you got the Inoki Memorial 6-man tag match. It's a 6-man tag. I already said that a lot of matches don't matter. This match really doesn't matter, but I'm going to watch it. It's Wrestle Kingdom. You got Kojima, Nagata, and Makabe versus Tiger Mask, number 4, Suzuki, and Fujinami. Fujinami's team is going to win because it's cool. The old guy fest, and the oldest guy is going to win. Then you got the first match on the main card. You have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match. Io Rush and Yo, the challengers, the winner of the Super Junior Tag League versus Akira and TJP. I think United Empire is going to have a great night, but not at the first showing. I think you got to put the title on Lio Rush and Yo. They killed it in the Junior Tag League, and I think they're super high on Lio Rush. Put a little title on him, make it work. Then you got the IWGP Women's Championship match, the first defense ever, Kairi Sane versus Nakano, and I think Kairi Sane's going to win, and then that's when we hear, you got a dream that you made it. Sasha Banks coming out with her boss rings, dancing around. Maybe it doesn't say boss anymore, maybe it says New Japan or something like that. I can't wait to see the knuckle blasters or whatever they're called, the rings that cover all 4 fingers that Sasha Banks wears, dancing around. I'm stoked on that, but I think the story of that match is going to be when Sasha Banks comes out, which I think she will right there. Everyone's predicting it, but sometimes the obvious is better than the swerve. And then we have the IWGP Tag Team Championship match, Yoshihashi and Goto versus the champions FTR. I think that Yoshihashi and Goto, there's a reason they won the World Tag League, and that's to heat these two guys up just enough to be transitional champions. You already had the match that we want to see, Aussie Open versus FTR in London earlier this year. If you have the transitional champions, you can have Yoshihashi and Goto hold it, and then Aussie Open win, and then you have FTR versus Aussie Open being the feud for the summer. But that's how I predict it. I don't think FTR is going to get the victory here. Ren Narita versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Championship Tournament Final. So we're going to crown a new champion here, new title, and I think you're going to put the title around the race of Ren Narita. Never Openweight Championship, Tama Tonga versus Machine Gun Carl Anderson. We all thought Machine Gun Carl Anderson was going to lay down for Tonga Loa, or whatever is the big guy, Tama Tonga's brother. He didn't, but I do think he's going to lay down for Tama Tonga here. They're both Bullet Club OGs, Of course, Tama Tonga left Bullet Club recently, and I think that this is going to be a big time to, shine up Tama Tonga. Carl Anderson is flying over there because he respects Tama Tonga. He's going to put him over huge and, go back to WWE and count his money. Kaiji Muta last match in New Japan. Umino, Tanahashi, Muta versus Bushi, Sanada, and Naito, 6-man tag. I know I just said 6-man tags don't matter, but this fucking matters. You got Tanahashi, you got Naito, and then you got the Great Muta's last match in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is big. This is fun. I've heard other podcasts say it, but I'm going to say it too. Bushi is in there to take the pin. Great Muta is going to hit him with the Shining Wizard. 1, 2, 3. This is probably the biggest match in Bushi's career, other than maybe like 6 or 7 years ago when he was wrestling for the junior title. The IWGP junior title, just like I spoke about a little earlier, every time I see this match, it cracks me up because you got El Desperado. You got Takahashi, You got Taiji Ishimori. And then you got Master Wato. One of these things is not like the other. Master Wato is going to get the pin. I don't know who's going to pin him. I think Desperado can move up to the heavyweight ranks. They kind of teased it a few years ago. I'm surprised he's still in the junior realm. I think putting the belt on Takahashi would be, big. I think he's kind of this generation's junior champion. So it would just be so fitting to see him with the junior title in the Tokyo Dome again. And then you got GOAT versus GOAT, the IWGP US Championship match, the first US champion ever versus the best US champion ever. You got the best wrestler in the world, Will Ospreay, I said it, versus the former best wrestler in the world. Best wrestler in the world around 2017, 2018. 2019, 2020, it gets kind of foggy. Maybe you can give it to Kota Ibushi. Maybe you can, start to give it to Will Ospreay. But 2022, Will Ospreay is the best wrestler in the world. 2018, Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world. Take it, write it down, repeat it. I said it. They're going up against each other. Will Ospreay is going to pick Omega up and drop him on his fucking head. I think that's a Lil Wayne song about what Will Ospreay is going to do to Kenny Omega. 1, 2, 3. The best U.S. champion ever is going to retain in the Tokyo Dome. Cue the fucking confetti now. But that's not the final match. IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Okada versus... IWGP Champion Jay White versus the G1 Climax 32 Champion Okada. I think I already said it. Okada's winning the Dome. Wrestle Kingdom 8 and 9, he lost to Tanahashi. He cried. We all saw him cry. That's when we all got behind him. We saw Gato leave him for the Bullet Club. He kind of got a little weird, but then around 2018, he came back. 2019, he came back as the Okada we know and love. He's winning in the Dome, baby. Give it to him in the Dome. It's what we want. We're like Batista. Give us what we want. Give us what we want. I'm super hyped up to talk to you guys, as you guys can probably tell. I'm super hyped up for Wrestle Kingdom. I had a great Christmas. I hope you guys did too. I'm excited for Noah. I'm also excited to talk about AEW for the past few weeks. It was hard to kind of catch up to talk to you guys during the holidays. I still am kind of doing that, but during the Christmas holiday, it was hard to talk to you guys. And the awful weather. It snowed here in the Carolinas and the mountains. I spent Christmas in the mountains. And it was literally 7 degrees in the Carolinas. Where I'm from, 55 is usually cold to us. So to have 7 degrees is pretty insane. It was cold all over. I was watching the Packers play the Dolphins in Miami. They said it was 47 degrees on Christmas Day in Miami. It was insane to see. But this is not an NFL podcast. This is not a weather podcast. This is a wrestling podcast. So we're here to talk about AEW holiday shows. Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho announced. I find this match pretty interesting. Both guys always try to perform as if they have something to prove, and it's on January 4th, so they're going to have a lot to prove that day because Wrestle Kingdom is that morning for us in America, and that night you're going to have two guys that usually wrestle to have the match on the card try to have the match of the day, and on January 4th to have the match of the day usually means you got to have the match of the year, and I think these guys are ready to do it. I put a poll online saying what match are you looking forward to most next week. Ricky Starks and Jericho was on the poll, and it did pretty well. Got second place. Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega got first. Action Andretti getting hit with the fireball. You gotta love the fireball spot, but I think he's getting taken off TV already when he just got hired. So the only thing this guy really has on anybody is the momentum, and his momentum was stopped dead in its tracks because he's not going to be on TV anymore. Bye Action Andretti. It looks like, you hit the wall. Love the Hobbs video package. Love this guy speeding by in his car here. I hope you guys can listen to that. Great engine that man paid for outside my window. Or girl. The momentum thing, though, for Action Andretti, that's bad. That's bad. Looking back at my notes, trying to catch back up to where I am. Love the Ricky Hobbs video package, but I want to see this move kind of to an in-ring storyline, in-ring match in January. We have caught up with Ricky Hobbs. We know we caught up with Hobbs. We know his full backstory. Now let's see him kick some ass, like we've known him for years to do. The Sanjay rap, hilariously awesome. Speaking of the rap, Rick Ross out there was the best part of this segment, dropping the F-bomb, saying Keith Lee is a big motherfucker. The most unnecessary thing to say. Like, one, you say motherfucker on live TV, and two, you telling us something we all know. Keith Lee is a big motherfucker. Thanks for letting us know, Rick Ross. Pops Keith Lee, though. He turns around and laughs. Parker Bordeaux attacks Keith Lee. I'm all about Parker Bordeaux. He's a friend of the show. Been following him before he even had one match, before he was even signed to WWE. He attacked Keith Lee like you would on WWE NXT. One hit, then you scream and flex. I think he's used to wrestling someone a little smaller than him, so you could do a clobbering blow to take some down, but Keith Lee's a little bigger than him, so I think you kind of need to have multiple clobbering blows. It didn't work. But that's cool. Keith really didn't quit too much, but then the guy with the face tattoos, I don't know anything about him. He started attacking Keith Lee, center block, double stomp off the top rope, and now you got Swerve with a little faction. Hit Row in NXT 2020, they are not, but they are better than Hit Row is now. I'll say that much, and I already know based on the little we've seen of these guys. I love the added touch of paranoia that Eddie Kingston has now with Ortiz, because House of Black did not attack Ortiz. I kind of love that little aspect of the feud. I love House of Black. I love Eddie Kingston. I love Ortiz. So it's going to be pretty easy to get me on board with that feud, and they're doing a good job so far. But going into AEW New Year's Bash, going into this week's AEW, Adam Page still recovering from his concussion, still fucked up a little bit. Love that him and Moxley just fight every time they see each other. This is a cool little storyline here, but I do feel like 2022 was not Adam Page's year. Like, people started kind of doubting his title run. They put the title on Punk, and he got kind of caught up in the whole Punk versus the Elite thing, and I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes in 2023. This Mox feud is intriguing, and I think he can do a little more. Trent talked shit to Kip Sabian, made such a good point that he got a match against his friend, a title match against his friend, Orange Cassidy. This is going to be a good match. I love Trent, and I love Cassidy. I bet this match is going to go hard, as they say. The Acclaim answered back with a rap of their own, laying it in a little bit. Kind of stiff shots here, saying that Jay Lethal got his name mimicking top guys, copying legends, but no one copies him. He was only a top guy in ROH during the bad years. And then saying like Jeff Jarrett stole Kurt Angle's girl. Kurt Angle and Karen Jarrett both got onto Twitter saying that was kind of a low blow. And, it was. I don't think anyone's denying it. They said it to be a low blow. They said it for people like me to laugh, and I did. And then you get on Twitter and you really see the two people that they're actually talking about, and you kind of feel bad for laughing. But, the job is done, Max. Good job. You always kill me with these fucking raps. The Guns are in party mode after beating FTR, which, I would be too. Ricky Starks cuts a promo on Jericho. Doesn't hold up to the others, but it's still a pretty good Ricky Starks promo. Now, let's end this exciting edition of Curtain Jerkin with a fucking bang. We're going to be ranking all 14 matches from the last 3 televised AEW shows from worst to first. The very worst match, Jade versus Vera Vixen. Jade wins. We already know the story. 13, Hook versus that Prime guy from last week. The guy who bounced on his head for Wardlow. He made Hook look good here as well. Hook matches, though, once you've seen one, you've seen them all, except for the last one, Hook versus Balaam Lynx, which is at number 12. He beats the guy, whatever. But then the Firm come out, and then we get this stare down of 2022. Not since Camille and Layla Hirsch has a stare down captivated me as much as this one. Big Bill staring down Hook. You got the side differential or difference. I can barely even talk. I'm so excited. And I think this is going to work out for both guys. I think you need Big Bill to throw someone around. You need Hook to overcome adversity. And it's going to be really cool when Hook just throws his big ass right over his head. So I think this is going to be good for both guys here. They both have something to prove. And I think they can do it here. 2023 is the year of Hook and Big Bill, if you ask me. Number 11, Mox versus Darius. Darius looking good. Death Rider 1, 2, 3, not much to talk about. Number 10, Ty and Jay versus Willow and Ruby. Ty and Jay, they're fun to watch. They're hot as hell, and they're trying hard. They're sinking their teeth into this chicken shit heel roll very nicely with the Jericho Appreciation Society. Willow twerking got me looking at Willow a little differently than I have before. I'll just say it that much. Aubrey Edwards distracted from Anna Jay trying to use the chair, so much so she doesn't see Ty Conti using the chair or Ty Mello using the chair. Sounds cool. It was cool. Looked a little sloppy, but we're going to go with it. It makes the top 10 at number 10. Number 9, the Guns versus FTR. Good match, quick match. Guns roll up FTR. Further going with my prediction of FTR taking a lot of L's going into 2023 and into 2023. I bet they're losing all the titles. Rumor on the street is their contract is up in April. And, Dax Harwood just started a podcast, and I think he's going to get a lot of heat on the back just talking. I can just see that. I don't know, an active AEW wrestler with a podcast, I can see that just not going well. Number 8, the Battle Royal, the Trios Battle Royal. Fuck yeah, Battle Royal. The only bad part was Mark Sterling cracking that just horrible joke. That and the fact that like Daivari is now joining Nice and Woods for no reason. Butcher and the Blade aren't with Roosh anymore for no reason. This Battle Royal really kind of exposed the plot holes in AEW storytelling, but it's honestly something that comes with the AEW territory. Like it doesn't ruin the company for me, but at this point, 3 years in, this kind of stuff is just going to happen. You kind of have to go with it. The main thing is there, but the edges can get a little foggy. But if you focus on what they want you to focus on, you can get some great matches, and there are some good stories, kind of hidden in there. Joe versus Wardlow at number 8. The story of this match here was that Wardlow got attacked in the back, and he wasn't at 100%. His knee was bad the whole match, to the point where he couldn't do the powerbomb. So Joe gets the victory, and then Joe's kind of doing the show of respect thing at the end, but then he cracks Wardlow with one of his titles, and Darby Allin has to come out and make the save. Joe hightails it, but Darby stands tall with Joe's TNT Championship in hand. Are we going to see another Darby Allin TNT title run in 2023? Are we going to see another Joe Darby match in 2023? I hope to hell so. Number 6, Billy Gunn and Bowens versus Jarrett and Jay Lethal. The Raps were better than the match, but the Raps were pretty good. Ref gets distracted. Sanjay with the low blow. Team TNA win, but I don't think this is over. Number 5. Moxley and Claudio versus Top Flight. Sick match. Top Flight attacking before the bell. I kind of like that. Crowd getting into it. Top Flight holding their own. I love the Darius jumping Dante, jumping Darius while Darius was in the swing for Claudio to get to Claudio. But at the end of the day, Blackpool Combat Club get the victory. Number 4 out of 14, making it into the top 5, Daniel Bryan versus Ethan Page. This match was great, well-paced TV match. Both guys working snug. Stokely Hathaway cracking me up, holding the hat after Daniel Bryan's comments about being bald. This was a super fun match, but I can see it getting lost in the fabric of time, with the holiday season and all the great matches that are going to come out of Japan in January. Bryan cross-faced the fuck out of Ethan Page to get the victory. Number 3, the Elite and the Death Triangle from 12/21. I've been kind of shitting on these matches, but they're getting good here. In fact, number 2 is the Elite versus Death Triangle from 12/28. Just like I said, these matches are getting good. Love the brawling aspect of these guys. Kenny looked like he broke his ass. The first thing I thought about was, oh man, we're not going to get this Kenny Omega Will Ospreay match anymore because of this crazy spot that Kenny Omega did like a week out from this big show. But that just shows you how crazy Kenny Omega is. I think he's fine. I think that if Kenny Omega was injured, we'd hear something about it by now. But as the time I'm recording this, Kenny Omega is flying his broken ass to the Tokyo Dome to wrestle Will Ospreay in the IWGP US Championship match, and I can't be more excited about it. But that's just number 2. Number 1, Hikaru Shida versus Jamie Hayter. Most of the time, I rank the women's matches in AEW, pretty low, But this was, definitely the best match on all 3 shows. One of the best matches on the year. I feel like Jamie Hayter is like 1 or 2 victories away, maybe even a Britt Baker feud away from being the best AEW champion that wasn't a former WWE wrestler ever. Thunder Rosa, she was great until she got the title. Then they didn't know what to do with her. And then Adam Page was great, and then he got the title. They had him wrestle Daniel Bryan, and then they didn't know what to do with him. But Hayter has seemingly gotten hyped and then stayed hyped with the title. So, I can say this is the best AEW title run from a non-WWE wrestler there ever has been. And I hope you guys agree. Let me know if you don't. Let me know if you do. Let me know if you're enjoying this show. I appreciate you guys all for listening. Fly high. I'm out.